via Skype, and also this morning we are coming live on Facebook streaming. Wherever you are welcome to live Taosho Buddha. Witnessing and Tathata. Earlier I had spoken on Tathata. One of the most important topic that I need to speak on is scriptures relived. Is the words written on a piece of paper is scripture. The most profound description of the scripture is given by Anand in Buddhist scriptures. When we look at Diamond Sutra, Vajra Chedika, Prajna Paramat Sutra, I am speaking to you, and these words could be put in black and white as well. But when I am speaking to you, there are many things associated with it. My gestures, movement, the gaps, where I pause, where I give accent, where I put more emphasis. When I speak a particular word, with what intensity do I speak on? In between, there are certain things which are missed in the scriptures. When Krishna is speaking to Arjuna, the words are not the only important things. Along with the words, the compassion, the energy field that flows. I am just giving you a hint. Bhagavad Gita, the last sutra that Krishna spoke, that says this coincidence is not mere coincidence. Instead, it has a great significance behind it. If we understand what is this significance, the sutra says, Sarva dharman paritijya mam ekam sharanam braja aham tom sarva papebhyo mokshayam ma shucha. Sarva dharman paritijya mam ekam sharanam braja. Braj word is used. And the beginning of Diamond Sutra, the name of is Vajra Chedika. Vajra means thunderbolt. Chedika means that pierces. That thunderbolt which pierces, Vajra Chedika, Prajna Paramit Sutra. Prajna means wisdom. Sutra. Anand gives very fine details. How did Buddha approached the Avantapindika near Shravasti to speak on the Diamond Sutra. And is the words of Bhagavad Gita are the written words? No, the words are not written. It is a silent communion between Arjuna and Krishna. In speaking on Bhagavad Gita, through that I am speaking on all those scriptures that may belong to whatever path you have been on. In the first chapter, Arjuna speaks of his despondency. Then the first sutra that Krishna spoke to Arjuna, he says, Kutashtua kashmal midam vishame samupasthitam. If I have to translate this, how did Krishna would have spoken to Arjuna? Just put yourself into the situation. Your child is mentioning of her problems in school or day-to-day things, and so you listen to these very carefully. And after that, what do? Your gestures are very important. And it is the gestures that create the environment, the energy field, the bridge for your message to flow to the person. You will say, all that happened? You went through all this? No more. And now, I'll take care of everything. But these are not mentioned in the scriptures. Krishna says, Kutashtua kashmal midam vishame samupasthitam. You are a great man. And how he said, you are a great man, a warrior. From where did all these things filter in you? But Bhagavad Gita does not mention that there. And without understanding this, you are missing the great link. You are not being connected to the energy field of Krishna. Same thing. When Hazrat Payghambar Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to go on the Mount Hir. Mount Hir is a state of awareness that you attain in meditation, in commune, in that state. And he comes and he spoke to his Sahabis. And the night when it was to be the Shab-e-Qadr, he came, but the people were engaged in all sort of petty worldly affairs. And in that he forgot. It's not that he forgot, this is a strategy. That this message is not for each and every one. When Abu Bakr asked him, what about that Shab-e-Qadr that you were supposed to tell us? He said, I forgot. But did Holy Prophet forgot? No, he did not. It is the way the message has to be communed. How did Abu Bakr would have approached Holy Prophet? How would Abu Bakr, Holy Prophet would have responded to one of his beloved disciples. These are the missing links in the scriptures. In order to understand this, you have to go through this. I will speak on probably tomorrow on this aspect of Bhagavad Gita relived, where whatever the missing links are between you and Krishna, one important factor comes into: none of these scriptures were written at the time when they were happening. Bhagavad Gita was composed afterwards. Bible, all these things were composed afterwards. Scriptures are born in a state of commune between the master and the disciple. Nothing is spoken, nothing is asked, yet still everything happens. When Subhuti asks question, Anand reports it. Really, Subhuti did not ask anything and Buddha did not speak. Have you ever imagined, I will take you to that intense state of love between the lover and beloved? Lover and beloved do not have to speak. If they speak, that means love has vanished. In a state of intense love, words become meaningless. Just an expression, just a gesture is more than enough to commune, to deliver your message. This has to be the experience of each one of you who have been in love. Love needs no words. It is a silent communion, an expression, a feeling. So Bhagavad Gita, all the scriptures are born like that. But for now, I set aside to speak to you on witnessing and Tathata. The difference. In witnessing, there is duality and duality remains present. In witnessing, you find yourself separate from that which you experience. For instance, if a thorn pricks your foot, the witnessing implies that the thorn has not pricked you. But normally we say thorn has pricked me. But the moment witnessing is there, you will hesitate in saying that. The witnessing implies that the thorn has not pricked you. Instead, it has pricked your body, and you are the knower of it. My body is sick. I am not. Because Aham Brahmasmi, I am the ever-expanding consciousness, the eternal. Not born. The piercing has occurred at one place, while the awareness of it is present somewhere else. So in the mind of a witness, there exists a duality. There is a separation between the experiencing of the event and the actual occurrence of it. The the experiencing of an event, that is piercing of the thorn in your foot, and the actual occurrence of it. Therefore, you cannot rise to the state of Advait, non-dual. And this is why the seeker who stops at the level of being a witness, a watcher, certainly remains confined to a certain kind of witnessing, although witnessing is important. But I am taking you one step beyond that. In witnessing, two things remain: the experience and the actual occurrence of it. And this is why the seeker who stops at the level of being a witness alone, a watcher, certainly remains confined to a certain kind of duality. The watcher ultimately divides the existence into conscious and unconscious. Conscious means one who knows, and unconscious means that which is known. So eventually you are bound to end up dividing the existence into two: Purush and Prakriti. Purush, the knower, and Prakriti, the field. The two things goes on. It is important. As I said, in order to reach the destination, you need the vehicle. But when you reach the destination where you have to go, you cannot remain sitting in the car. Instead, you have to hop out of the vehicle. So where the vehicle is important, also its abandonment is equally important, or rather more important. When you reach to the place where you have to go, do you remain sitting in the car or the vehicle that has taken you there? The purpose of the vehicle is to take you witnessing the Purush, and the vehicle and you are separate. That's a duality. Vehicle is the instrument that takes you to that place. But what it is happening there, one who has to experience is separate. So these two things always go together. The bound end up dividing the existence into Purush and Prakriti. Bhagavad Gita devotes an entire chapter, the 13th chapter, to the aspect of knower and the field. These words, Purush and Prakriti, are highly significant. Perhaps the true meaning of Prakriti may not have occurred to you or anyone else. Prakriti does not mean nature, as is generally conceived. In fact, there is no word for Prakriti in English. Prakriti means that was in existence before everything came to be Prakriti. The word Prakriti comes from two words. Pra means prior, and Kriti means creation. That which existed before the creation came into existence. Pra is prefix, prior, and Kriti means creation. The word means that which was before the creation. Prakriti does not mean in any way Shrishti or nature. Srishti means creation, that which exists after creation. The process of creation is complete. The painter has finished the painting, that is his creation. But before this creation came into existence, there was a process. The word Prakriti means that which was before the creation. The word Purush is also very meaningful. The equivalent of such words are extremely difficult to find in any other language of the world, because all these words were born out of very special experience. And the experience comes from a certain level of consciousness. Again, when I take the word Purush, it comes from the word Pur, which is prefix to Purush. Purush means the city and is used as suffix to a word to complete the meaning. For example, the cities in India, most of the cities they end with Pur, and there is a prefix, Kanpur, Nagpur, Jabalpur. Pur is suffix, whereas Pra was prefix. So Pur indicates this city and one who resides in this city, Kan. Nag, Jabal, is the one who resides in that city. The human body is like a town or a city. Human body is like a city. And there is someone who resides in that city is known as Purush. Who resides in you? You are a vehicle for certain purposes. You are a city. You are providing the housing, the space, and within that something dwells. Therefore, this word is very important. Prakriti and Purush. Therefore, is Purush the one who lives in it? Separate, unattached is Purush. So witnessing comes as far as the separation of the two Purush and Prakriti. He will set them apart as two separate entities, the conscious and the unconscious, and a distance will be created between the knower and the known. This is witnessing. Tathata is even more remarkable, the ultimate. It means there is no duality. There is neither a knower nor is there anything to be known. Or in other words, the knower is the known. Now it is not that the thorn is hurting me and I am aware of it, or that the thorn and I are separate from one another. It is not even that it would have been better if thorn had not pierced me, or that it would be good if the thorn came out. No. There is nothing of this sort in Tathata. Now everything is accepted. The presence of the thorn, the pricking of it, first of all, there has to be the presence of the thorn. Then in a particular position, the thorn has pricked you. The awareness of being pricked by the thorn, the awareness of being pricked by it, and the experience of pain. In fact, in Tathata, everything is accepted in its totality. In witnessing, it is not so. Tathata, everything is accepted in its totality. They are not different. They are different parts of the same reality. The thorn carries the same reality in its womb. The witness, the piercing. Therefore, I am the thorn. I am the very occurrence of the piercing. I am the awareness of this process of piercing. I myself am the very realization of it all. I am all this. That is why there is no going beyond this I, my very being. I cannot think it would have been better if the thorn had not pricked me, for I am the very thorn, the pricking of it, and the knowing of being pricked as well, and the pain that has happened to me once the thorn has pricked. Nor can I think it would be good if the thorn did not prick me, because that would be equivalent to tearing myself apart from my being, from my own being. Tathata is the ultimate state. There is or can be. In that state, whatsoever is indeed is accepted in totality. Whatsoever is, the thorn is there, the thorn has pricked, I am aware of it, I am aware of the pain that is there. Everything is accepted in its totality. It is the state of ultimate acceptance of that which is. Witnessing is not. It contains no distinction of whatsoever nature it might be. You cannot reach. Tathata is the ultimate. So what is the connection between witness and Tathata? It is like the vehicle that takes you to the destination and the destination. But you cannot reach Tathata without having first the witness. However, you can stop at the level of witnessing. You reach the destination. Your plane has reached the city where you have to reach. Can you remain in the plane? No, you have to hop out of the plane. Even if you want that, no, I love this plane, I want to remain here. That plane is like a witness, the tool that takes you to the place where you have to go. You can stop at the level of witnessing if you desire so, and choose not to arrive to the next stage of Tathata. Similarly, without the use of will, you cannot attain to the state of witnessing. To attain to the state of witnessing, will is necessary. The state of witnessing, although having gained willpower, one may wish to stay there and not come to the point of witnessing. It is like a journey. In order to reach to the city where you have to go, you have to use many vehicles. This we understand very well. From your place, you have to walk a little bit. You have to hop into the subway or taxi or your own vehicle to reach to the terminal where you have to leave the vehicle. You have to hop out. Again, you have to, maybe you may have to take the sky train. You may have to walk, or whatsoever form of transport is available. So first, the will is the vehicle. Then you have to abandon the will in order to attain to witnessing. Then you have to leave the witnessing and enter Tathata. So Sufis very clearly say that along the spiritual path, three things have to be abandoned. Tark, abandon the logic. You come to a master out of logic. Questions are there, you want the answer to the questions. It happened yesterday. Someone sent a message, Sheikh, can I ask a question? What is the difference between space and consciousness? If you are at the level of the mind, you will get baffled. What kind of question is that? Is space and consciousness? I saw the question and it was very important to respond to this person. And the response is not the mere words. Have to send him the energy field that will help him. That becomes the placenta. With the interaction of ovum and sperm, a growth happens, but it needs the something for it to grow. The seed you are planting, but the seed needs soil for it to grow. So energy field becomes the soil or the environment for the placenta to grow or the seed to blossom. I had someone with me, I asked, this is the question. What is the difference between space and consciousness? Then I put the response which has been posted on. Space refers to the inner space or the field where something has to happen. Consciousness is the seed and space provides the field for consciousness to grow. So you have to leave things. You are hungry, the platter full of food is in front of you. Having eaten, you have to abandon the plate and everything else. So tark. You come. Why have you come to the master? Because you were having many problems You want to know if there is God or something. You want to attain to peace, harmony within or something else. So tarke tark, the abundant, the logic. Tarke ukba, the desire for something, desire for bliss, desire for happiness, desire for awakening, desire for enlightenment. And the last of these in this series is the master, Tarke Maula. And that's where the biggest problem comes in. How can I leave the master? But the masters try to create a bondage instead of giving you freedom. The purpose of the master is take you everywhere, take you through the various stages and create and keep you free, give you total freedom that you are free of the master. You have developed that principle knowing which everything becomes known. There is no difference between seed and flower. You are the seed and the master is the blossomed flower, a growth out of the seed, the ultimate. And the moment it happens there, the total freedom that comes in. And with that freedom, your journey continues. Similarly, without the use of will, you cannot attain to the state of witnessing. For that part of the journey, to arrive at witnessing, will is the vehicle. And then something that was a destination up to some stage becomes the vehicle for the next phase of the journey. Then witnessing becomes the vehicle to arrive at Tathata. One may wish to stay there and not come to the point of witnessing. The options are open and the choice is yours. And that's where the person gets stuck. If you stop with witnessing, if you stop with firmness of resolve, you would, of course, become very powerful. But certainly you would not be able to attain to wisdom. And therefore the ability to make a resolve can be misused, because wisdom is not required to attain it. You are sure to gain a lot of power, but that is precisely why you can abuse the power. The entire black magic is the product of willpower. One who practices it gains a lot of power, but he lacks wisdom totally. He can end up using that power without any discrimination or wisdom. Indeed, a man of will becomes filled with power. Will gives you power, tremendous power. It is difficult to predict the right way, what use he will make of it. He can obviously put it to the bad use. Power in itself is neutral. Nevertheless, it is necessary whether one intends to use it for whatever purpose he chooses, good or bad. And it always happens that rather than remaining a weakling, it is better if one uses his power for evil purposes. This happens for the simple reason that one who commits an evil act now may someday use the same power for a good cause. When the understanding dawns, One who cannot do evil can never do good either. That is why I say it is better to be powerful than to remain impotent. So a man of power can set out on the path of good as well as evil. The direction is needed. Your GPS system gives you the direction. If you do not know the destination, but you know driving, in order to reach the destination, the driving and the vehicle were important, but you do not know the direction. In Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, Arjun was the master of archery. He had all that, but he did not have the direction. He needed a direction from the higher force to direct his energies into the right way. So a man of power can set out on the path of good or evil as well. It is better to follow the cause of goodness, because if followed rightly, it will bring you to the state of witnessing. You would not end up as a witness if you follow the course of evil. Rather, you will simply wander around within the confines of your willpower. This is falling in the trap of black magic. Black magic, when you follow the course of evil, rather you will simply wander around within the confines of your willpower and not find the way to come out. You have fallen into the trap, and that trap is black magic. Then you will get into mesmerism, hypnotism, tantra and mantra, witchcraft, and so many things that come within that periphery. All kind of things will crop up, but they would not lead you on a journey towards the being, the soul. This is becoming lost along the way. The power will indeed be there, but it has gone astray. If the power is put on the course of goodness, it is sure to give rise to the witness within you. And ultimately that power can be used to know and attain oneself. That is why I call the course of goodness. By the course of evil, I mean controlling, possessing, enslaving the other. This is what black magic is, when you want to possess someone, when you enslave someone, making use of the power for the purpose of attaining oneself, knowing who am I, what am I, and living authentically is moving in goodness, and it will indeed lead one towards becoming a witness, the next stage. If the urge to attain the state of witnessing is satiated with the knowing of oneself, the seeker reaches up to the fifth body and it stops there. The fifth body in you. And it stops there. However, if the urge is further intensified, one discovers that he is not alone. He contains everything The sun, the moon, the stars, the rocks, the soil, the flowers are all part of Him, not separate from Him. Indeed, that is the very being, and His existence incorporates all the rest. If the seeker proceeds with such an intense feeling, only then he reaches the Tathata. Tathata or suchness is the ultimate flowering of religion. Suchness or Tathata is the ultimate flowering of religion. It is the supreme achievement. It is total acceptance. Whatsoever happens, one is open and agreeable to it. Only such an individual can become totally silent, because even a bit of resentment can prolong the restlessness. One's restlessness and tension will continue to remain if he carries even a small degree of complaint. Even a thought, yet is still. No. Even the slightest idea, it did not happen the way it should have. And the tension will continue to persist. This is the only way it was to happen, and it happened. The experience of supreme silence, the experience of greatest freedom from tension, and that of ultimate liberation is possible only in a state of Tathata, the total acceptance. Only a man of will can eventually attain to the state of witnessing first, because will is the vehicle that he uses to arrive at witnessing, and then witnessing becomes another vehicle, and only his deeper, and he goes deeper into witnessing, that can bring him to the state of Tathata. And one who has not yet known what being a witness means can never know what total acceptance is. One who has not yet realized that he is separate from the thorn which is pricking him is not yet ready to know that the thorn is part of him. First of all, you have to know that thorn is pricking you. And then, and only then, you will know that thorn is a part of me. It is not separate. One who has not realized that he is separate from the thorn which is pricking him is not yet ready to know that the thorn is part of him. In fact, one who comes to experience the separateness of the thorn can take the next step of feeling one with the thorn as well. So Tathata is the fundamental principle, among all spiritual disciplines discovered all over the world. Tathata is the greatest. That is why one of Buddha's name is Tathagat. Thus came, thus gone. Why he came is not important. What is important, he is there. I am there. It would be good to have some understanding of what this word Tathagat means. It will be useful in comprehending the meaning of Tathata. Buddha has used the word Tathagat for himself. He would say, for instance, Tathagat said. Tathagat means thus came, thus gone. Just as breeze comes and goes away, without any purpose, why is breeze coming? Can you give a reason for it? There is a certain play, and that has caused the breeze to blow. Just as breeze comes and goes away without any purpose, without any meaning, just as an air enters your room and goes out without any reason or without seeking your permission to come in or without seeking your permission to go out. Therefore, one who is coming and going away unmotivated, desireless like the breeze, is known as Tathata, is known as Tathagat. But who would come and go like a breeze? Who would come and go like breeze? He alone can pass like a breeze who has attained to the state of Tathata, who has attained the will. Through the will he has reached to witnessing, and through witnessing he has attained to a state of Tathata. Only he to whom the coming and going makes no difference can move like a breeze. Only to one whom coming and going makes no difference can move like breeze. If he needs to come, he comes. If he needs to go, he goes. This is what Diogenes did. It made no difference to him whether people put him in chains or did not put him in chains. Diogenes was the master, the naked one, who met Alexander when he was returning after the conquering the half of the world. Diogenes said later on, only one who is prone to be slave can be nervous about becoming a slave. Since no one can make me a slave, why should I be afraid? I might be taken as a slave. One who carries even the slightest anxiety within that he may be turned into a slave, he alone will remain in the fear of it. And one who has such a fear is indeed a slave. Since I happen to be the Lord and the Master myself, you can never enslave me. Even in chains I will walk like a master. Even in chains I am the master, and will remain so even in your prison as well. It makes no difference where you throw me. I still remain the Lord and the Master. My mastership is total and complete. So the journey consists of this, from will to witness, and from witness to Tathata. And that's where you arrive at. You arrive at Tathagat, thus came, thus gone. There is no reason. The existence wants me to share all that I have experienced. What is my gain? No gain. Just sharing with you with what I am is a joy unspeakable. And you have arrived at Tathata, then you are Tathagat, thus came, thus gone. The talk began an hour before, now it comes to an end. Only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow, take care.